It was the night of April 11th, 1981, at Cabin 28 in rural Keddie, California. A single mother and 3 people close to her were about to face unimaginable horror. No one knew what was coming, but by dawn their lives would be forever changed. Sue Sharp, 36 years old single mother, lived with her 5 children Shyla, John, Tina, Ricky, and little Greg in Cabin 28. They had moved from Connecticut just months earlier, seeking a fresh start near Sue's brother. That night, John's friend, Dana Wingate, was also staying over. There were 7 people inside the house that night: Sue, John, Tina, Ricky, Greg, Dana, and Justin. A friend of the boys who was staying over, Sheila, Sue's 14-year-old daughter, wasn't there. She had spent the night at a friend's house and would return the next morning. Tina had gone to a neighbor's earlier that evening, but came back around 9:30 p.m. By midnight, the house was quiet, but not for long. By the early morning of April 12th, Sheila came home at dawn and walked into a nightmare. The bodies of Sue, John, and Dana lay in the living room. Each was bound with tape and died in brutal fashion: stabbings, blunt force trauma, and strangulation. But Tina was missing. Ricky, Greg, and their friend Justin were asleep in another room, untouched. There was no forced entry. Phones were cut off. Lights were off. Windows and doors were locked. The killers had to be inside already or were never noticed. Neighbors heard muffled screams around 1:30 a.m., but the sleeping boys were undisturbed. The violence was horrific. Sue was gagged and naked from the waist down, stabbed in the chest and throat. John's throat had been slashed and he bore blunt trauma injuries. Dana had been strangled and beaten. The trap was set. Knife, hammer, wiring, and tape were found at the scene. Tina, the 12-year-old daughter, was missing. She was not found until 3 years later, on April 1984, when her skull and bones washed up near Feather Falls, nearly 30 miles away. Her disappearance added a chilling twist. Someone abducted her alive, then killed her later. Investigators soon eyed Marty Smart, the Sharps' neighbor, and his friend John B.O. Bede. Both had criminal backgrounds. Smart had lost his hammer before the murders. His wife found him burning items after the crime, and he later wrote his wife a chilling letter. "I've paid the price of your love. Now I've bought it with 4 people's lives." The investigation was flawed from the start. The crime scene wasn't secured, contaminated evidence, and the FBI wasn't fully deployed. DOJ agents focused on organized crime, not homicide. Critical evidence and witness accounts were ignored. The case went cold for decades, but in 2013, Sheriff Hagwood reopened it with investigator Mike Gamberg. They recovered a hammer near the scene in 2016. DNA from crime scene tape matched a still living suspect. A counselor reported Smart confession: "I killed Sue and Tina, but not the boys." The leading theories: a love triangle. Smart, a drug dealer who abused his wife, reportedly had an affair with Sue. She encouraged his wife to leave him, so he allegedly silenced her, and Tina, who may have witnessed it. This explains why the boys were spared and only Sue, John, Dana, and Tina died. Other theories suggest ties to drug smuggling or organized crime. To date, no one has been charged. Both major suspects are dead. The cabin was torn down in 2004, but the Sharp family and their community still wait for answers. 4 lives were taken, a horrific act born of betrayal or something darker. No matter the truth, the wounds have not healed.